All right, guys, update on the Regal. I have not got this thing in primer. I haven't even started the plastic body filler work yet. I have been sidetracked. It's kind of a good thing. But anyway, I'm going to try to get back on it this weekend. My wife's gone to her mother's this weekend, so I can do a little filler work. That smell always seems to get in the house. She's got asthma, so it's not a good combination. So if she's gone this weekend, I can make it stink out here a little bit. But anyway, so I really haven't got far at all, really. You've probably caught me doing some of the videos I've posted. It's been little stuff, mainly interior stuff. I've got all of the interior pieces are trim painted the tan, so it's shaping up on the interior, other than if you can get past the maroon seats. I will have these recovered later when I get some money, but for now, I wanted to get the main foundation part done. Now, I don't have these trim panels in yet, like the dash panels that I wood grain. These are just setting in here. They still need more work. I was planning on color sanding and buffing them because there's a lot of trash in these wood grain pieces. But I think I've decided just to 800 grit them down and go back and try to put another coat of clear on here in the garage. That way there's not as much dust as it would be where I shot these outside. So I may do that. And it'd just be a lot easier than sitting there and going through the grades of paper and doing the sanding and buffing with different compounds and taking a chance of going through. So I'm just going to 800 them down and reshoot them with clear. Call it a day. But anyway, I just set them in here for the effect of the video, but you kind of get the idea. But what the light's coming through, from the ceiling down here, you can really see the difference that light makes on that wood grain. Like in the dash, it looks dark because the light's not on it, but down here, man, it's vibrant looking. I love it. But anyway, here's my free radio that I got. This is, I don't know how old it is. It's a Sony. But what I like about it, other than it's free, is it was silver. So it kind of matches the silver face gauges, which I think is kind of cool. The other thing I noticed on Summit's website, they have a auto gauge makes a 2 1/16 size gauge, and it's silver face with black needles, which matches my factory gauges. So I'm going to buy a temperature and an oil pressure. And then I'm going to buy the little dual gauge pod for the aftermarket for the Grand National that goes here. And I'm going to paint it the interior tan color here. But I'm going to put those two gauges down here. Because that factory temp gauge is not working correctly. I think it needs a new sender. And if I put a sender in and it's still not working, I'm going to need to know what my temp is anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way the gauges match and it'll look kind of nice. And it'll be custom as well. But anyway, I got the Grand National steering wheel is trim painted. This is the new billet horn ring. I bought this last year. It was gray, and I trim painted it as well. I don't know what this center come out of, this medallion. It was in a box of G-body parts labeled Buick, and that was in there by itself. So I took the original emblem out, the Grand National emblem out, and put this one in. It was the exact same size and everything. Has a little alignment tab on it and everything is the same. So I thought that was pretty awesome. The emblem that was in here had a big old gouge mark in it, so that one ended up working out pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty nice, and it is the tri-shields, which I think is kind of cool. But anyway, guys, so I still got some wood grain work to do. I got the console is all back together, other than this is just setting in here. But the bottom side plates I did black, and that's because Grand Nationals did it, so I did it. And because I got black carpet, and I just think it kind of goes. But I did do the whole console was apart, and it's all painted inside and out. Everything was painted separately, even painted the screws separately. But I did do this bottom panel in that Landau black trim paint. It should be the tan, but I just thought this would be a nice little detail thing for it to have it in black. And I'm trying to save as much of that tan as I can, because I'll have to spray that gauge pod, when I get it. But anyway, the kick panels are done. The B-pillar trims are done. All the interior trim panels are done. And I actually repaired, you probably can't see it, this upper dash panel up here. This thing had quite a few cracks in it. And, some of the places where screws go, the bottoms were busted completely out. So I just did the best with what I could. That is actually bed liner in a can. And then I flattened off the grain a little bit to give it more of a factory appearance. And then I went back over it with the trim paint. So the upper dash panel is pretty nice. And I'm happy with it. It'll work, Now the column, it is black. I do want to paint it to tan, but I'm going to wait till later. Like if I tear the car apart to paint it in the future, I'll pull the column out and I'll paint it. So I've got about a quart of that tan left. So I've got plenty to do that stuff and do touch-ups if I need to. But anyway, the rear upper quarter glass panels here, these were nice. I saved these out of a car that was getting crushed a long time ago. They've been in my attic. So these found a home in this car. And then this is the other thing that Grand Nationals do that I wanted to do in this car. You know, the lower door panels on my car are tan, but you know, Grand Nationals are gray, obviously. But they had a black carpeted inlay down here, and like this had tan, so I took the tan carpet out, and I had some remnants of black carpet. So I'm gonna, you know, redo the carpet strips in black, and that way the speaker pods match. I've got some 3.5-inch speakers here somewhere. I'd rather have 4s, but I've got some 3.5s that I think I'm going to use instead. But anyway, I am going to put speakers in here and all that. So anyway, I just think the black carpet inlay on those door panels will be great. But anyway, so that's the interior. So I'll get you up to speed on the body. I've ended up taking more parts off the car than I originally planned on. And it's kind of a good thing because some stuff, you know, even if I'd have primered the car, it'd still look like hell. So I'm trying to make it, do some detail stuff to it, and that way it doesn't look so bad in primer. Trying to make it look as nice as I can, basically. But the wide trim that goes on top of the door and the back of the quarter back here, this stuff was hail damaged all over, just horrible. And now you could probably go back and redo all that trim, you know, knock all the dents out and do all the work. I'm just not going to mess with it. That clear anodized coating on these factory aluminum trim pieces suck to work with. And I'm going to do it exactly like I did in my Cutlass Salon, which was remove them and make it just like a base Regal or base Monty or Cutlass or whatever. This is brand new felt strips, and I'm just going to put those on there. This is the wide bead. This is for Monte Carlo. I want to say it's 81 to 88. It could be 78 to 88. I don't know. But it's a wide flat bead that comes on the felt strips. And I just had this sitting here for the video. They'll be off when I primer the car. But anyway, I needed to buy another set of these. The place that I bought these on eBay, that's the only set they had left. But I do know a place to buy those, so I'm going to call and order another set. I'll have to wait till next week when I have some money. I have a full work week scheduled next week, customer's car, so I just didn't have a lot of money right now to spend on a car. I got on eBay. My wife was going to her mom's last weekend, and I got on eBay and the PayPal and stuff, and I noticed she had a little bit of money in PayPal. Notice I said had. I left her $8. I don't know why she's so mad at me, but anyway, I bought one pair of outer felt strips. I bought new roof rail seals. Those have not come in yet. And I bought new outside door handles for the doors. And I bought a new set of chrome door lock knobs because one of them, the top was broke off, and the other one, the chrome was flaking off of it so bad it just about cut your finger when you grab hold of it. So it's all just little knick-knack parts, but it's stuff it needed, you know, and I can still use later. But I'll end up having to cut another set. I'll have to buy another set of these just to take one to cut it up to put here. And it's the same thing I did on my Cutlass Salon. But what I did forget about my Cutlass Salon was this right here. This is a notch in the body right here. There was seam sealer in here that I knocked out. On my Cutlass Salon, it was the same way. So I ended up having to cut a piece of sheet metal to fit in here. And I drilled a couple holes in it, and I plug welded it, and then I tacked and tacked and tacked till it was all fully welded and then ground it so it was all smooth in one piece. And I have to do that because this would be noticeable out here with that trim on there. So it's only going to go to about there, you know. So I've got to do metal work on the corners of the quarter glasses. So it just kind of sucks. But, you know, it's the foundation of the car will be done for like next year if I go to paint the car. You know, I won't have as much to do. So it'll be a little bit easier on me. I did use my stud gun on this big old dent that was in the quarter. I got it pulled out and dollied out. It turned out really nice. It's going to take a skim coat. It'll be great. I've still got to finish spot welding this patch panel down here. It's almost fully spot welded. I just got a little bit more to go. I ended up taking the trim off the back glass and the windshield because some of the clips were broken and some of the trim was loose. I do have a new package of trim clips. I'm waiting on them to come in as well. That was another eBay thing. But anyway, that panel, I took it off, the filler panel right here, because it is just, the paint's flaking like crazy on it. So it'll be easy to sand it off the car. And another thing I got into was the taillight extensions on the car. This is I had these in my attic, and I'm glad of that, because the ones that were on here, almost all the paint was gone, and they were the raw white plastic. The sun had deteriorated them so bad they were crumbling. So luckily I had another set in my attic, and these are good shape. So I'll be using these. Now this is the color, my original high school car. My very first car my dad bought me, 79 Regal Limited, it was this color. Now I think if this was base coat, clear coat, I think this would be a lot more vibrant. So that's what color I'd like to paint the car. But if I paint the car, I've got to pull it all apart and jam it and do everything. Now I'll run you through what I've been kind of thinking about doing maybe this summer sometime. I am still going to go ahead and just do the bodywork and get the car in the primer and put it back together. But this is a tempting idea. This silvery blue color this car is from the factory. The door jambs and the trunk jam, all this will clean up and polish up pretty nice. So I wouldn't have to jam the car. The new trunk lid I got off that 79 Regal for free has the same color. Underneath the deck lid is the same color, that silvery blue. So I wouldn't have to jam any of the car. I could just do an outside respray of that light blue. So that is tempting, just because of it would be so easy to do, and pretty well a budget way of going about it. But the other thing, the reason it kind of leaning me toward it is this is a 79 dealer brochure for Buick. It has all the Buicks in it. This is that silvery blue on a 79 Regal. And look at the way they've two-toned that. I've talked about this before in one of my old videos, but I love the way they two-tone the 78 to 80 cars. I just think that's really, really cool. And I have a gallon of a medium blue pearl here that would really complement that light silvery blue really nice. I think it's a BMW color, but I have a gallon of that here, so it's more than enough. But I could do this pretty budget-wise, pretty well on the cheap. And as far as just doing an outside respray, it'd be pretty easy to do, So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to paint it now. It's just going to be primer. And I'm kind of thinking about maybe this summer, I'm going to rock it with the maroon seats for now, because I don't have the money to have them recovered. I don't even know any upholsterers right now, but one of my buddies knows a lady that does it, and she's supposed to be pretty good, and she's pretty inexpensive, which is usually never the case. I'm going to, if I do get a quote from her on doing the front and back seats, I would probably go buy the material myself. I have an account in an automotive upholstery supply in Tulsa. I might just go pick me out a tan velour that actually matches the seat belts, or matches the tan in the car pretty good. But anyway, I'll buy extra yardage of it, and I'll do my upper door panels and my rear insert panels myself. I can do those flat panels. I just can't stitch anything. So I think I'll do that, because it'd save me money, just pay for the seats being recovered, and then I can do my others myself. So anyway, guys, that's where I'm at. I got sidetracked last week, and I got a little bit of work to do, but I'll get it eventually. Just be kind of nice to have a decent car to drive, but it's going to take a little work to get there. But I'm just glad I had them upper panels here, because that really worked out nice. But I'll probably do these black carpeted inlays on these door panels myself tonight. I'm just glad I had an extra thing of black carpet. I got just enough. I don't have to go buy anything, they're already here. So, and I'd already recovered this one. I still need to cover the other one. But anyway, I'm going to get at it. I got some grinding to do, and welding, and body filler work, and